Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode of the Geek Perspective. I'm your host, Roy, and today we are discussing Chucky, the final two episodes. Yes, we're doing both episodes at the same time. Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode. It's been a while of the Geek Perspective, and I'm here with my co host, Tom. What's going on, Tom?
Nothing. What's going on?
Nothing. Living life, living large,
Yeah.
surviving each day one at a time.
Getting into Halloween season, my favorite time of year. I went over to
Yes.
Spirit Halloween today. There's one. They opened one in the Emerald Mall this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's always one over by me, but they moved locations. I love that store so much. I love Halloween.
Yeah, it's funny. My new job, we do a Halloween parade. Well, we did it last year. It was my first year there, and we'll probably be doing it again this year. And I started there late, so I didn't get a chance to do it last year. But I think I'm going to do it this year. I was looking at costumes, what I wanted to get, and I was looking at some Star Wars. I'm like, oh, I'll be a Jedi, get the robe and everything. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be kind of hot. I want to do that. Then I was like, well, we're going to Comic Con. Um, I could wear that to Comic Con. I'm like, it might be too hot to wear that there too.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
definitely at Comic Con. You know it's going to be hot inside with all
ooh,
the people. I mean,
is it?
granted, we're going Sunday. It's not as crowded, but still, you know it's going to be warm in there. Because just still a lot of people. It's
Yep,
a lot of body heat, a lot of bad breath, just heating up the joint. So,
very much
and so
so. So
yeah,
off air, we were talking about TV shows. Did you check out that show? Well, it wasn't TV show; it was a movie, Morpheus,
Morbius.
Morbius.
Morbius? No, I
Well,
have
I
not.
don't know why I said Morpheus.
That's from Sandman, actually. Morpheus is the Sandman.
Right,
Yeah, I don't know if you watch that show or not.
I
I
did. I,
like
I
it.
watched the whole thing, but did you see
I love
Morbius?
No, I did not see Morbius.
I didn't know how I was gonna like it because I never followed the character, and but it was a really good movie. Jared Leto did a really good job.
Yeah, wasn't that a weird one? Didn't they like go to put it out and then didn't for a while, and then it was supposed to release and then they shelved it for a little while or something. There's some
Yeah, there
weird,
was something going on where it
and
was
then they
ready to
eventually
go.
ended up releasing it or something.
Yeah, it was gonna go, but it never just went anywhere for a little bit. It was ready, then it wasn't ready. Then I don't know if they reshot some things. I don't know.
I'm
It seems like today every movie or TV show there's always problems now. They're
Yeah,
gonna reshoot something or redo something or something's not right, so they have to film something over. It's ridiculous.
a lot of money involved.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to check it out. Sometimes it's the best way, though. You don't know when you don't know anything about the character and you kind of just go in blind into a movie. You end up enjoying them more sometimes.
Yep.
I don't know much. I know just very cursory things about Morbius, but don't know much. So it's definitely going to check it out. What's it on?
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yep. Yeah, if you're watching this, guys, check out Morbius. It's a really good movie. I was very impressed.
You know which one I really like? The Black Phone. That was a good movie. Did you
That
watch that?
was really good.
Yeah, I was so pleasantly surprised by that. I didn't hear much about it, and maybe it was we talked about. I don't know. I talked to somebody about it, and yeah, that ended up being a very very good movie.
Yeah, the only thing I heard was from people, and they either loved it or they hated it. Like there was no like, oh, it was okay.
Oh,
but
really?
people either loved it or hated it. Yeah, some people I knew hated it with a passion. Some said it was the greatest movie ever.
I don't know many people that have seen it. Like I know Shay saw it; she really liked it. But yeah, so wow, that I didn't realize that. That's yeah, Ethan Hawke, man, he's on fire. He is on
Great
fire
actor.
right now.
He is so hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me. It started a couple years ago with the show Good Lord Bird. He was in, and then, but everything he touches right now, he's just fucking amazing. It's just that. Have you watched Orphan First Kill yet?
What's that?
Orphan First Kill, the new Orphan on Paramount.
No.
So you remember? Do you see the original Orphan, right? A few years ago, the horror movie, little girl orphan, and then well,
Oh yeah. Yes.
the sequel, or
I did see that. Yeah, brain cramp.
actually, I
Been a
haven't
long
watched
week, guys.
it.
Yes, the prequel was very good.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet. That was.
Yeah, another good. I was trying to think of what I was watching. Tom knows what I was watching more than I do.
Well, I didn't know you watched that. I was asking.
Well, the whole thing was sitting. I'm like, what did I watch? I watched horror movies. Like I was off on Friday because I'm working this weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
So Friday I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch some horror movies.
Yeah, I gotta watch. I want to rewatch the first Orphan, and then watch Orphan First Kill, so it's fresh. Because it's
I wish I had done that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want. I've seen the first Orphan, but it's my you know how my memory is, Roy. It's fucking so.
Same here.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right, you ready to get into Chucky? Final 2 episodes of the season 1.
Yes.
Do this.
I had about a month out from season 2, right around a month from now, depending on which date you're seeing out there. I've seen October 5th. You said you saw October 10th on one.
But most people are saying the 5th though, so
most are okay.
Yeah, so we'll stick with the 5th. Yeah, guys, I was looking online today, and I can't remember the channel, the website, but they were saying it comes out the 10th, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And but I re-looked at a lot of different websites, and a lot of them are still saying the 5th. So we're going with the 5th.
Cool. Either way, it's soon. Regardless,
yes, October.
Yes, a month away. Regardless, cannot
commercials.
Cannot wait.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these 2 episodes are so good.
Yep.
Of this season. So episode 7 was called "Twice the Grieving, Double the Loss," and it's the one right. But and then 8 is the final episode of the season. Real brief. It's a synopsis that I've given. Sorry, guys, it's been a while since we've recorded.
It sure has.
And it's I'm like a little rusty here, and trying to think back of how we formatted those other episodes. So anyway, the brief plot that I always give, 1-2 sentences. The kids, Jake and Lexi and all of them work desperately to try to figure out Chucky. The children work desperately to try to figure out Chucky's end game. There we go. That's basically, there's your brief.
That's a perfect synopsis, because literally the episode. That's what they're doing. They're trying to figure out what his plan is.
Yeah,
what his final end game is going to be.
So, so what are your thoughts on the episode so far?
It's funny. I have some specific things here that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, please do.
I loved the conversation between Chucky and Junior.
Oh yeah.
The original comment when he's trying to turn Junior and make him his little minion.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to Junior. It was so sarcastic with Junior. It was hilarious. Like Chucky's sarcasm is unbelievable, and him doing it with Junior, I just laughed. It made me happy. It was just. What did you think of that one?
I really liked it, because it's like Junior has been like, how do I put it? Like seemed like a ticking time bomb or something
Yeah.
like that all season, you know. So it's like
He was kind of whiny, but like not too whiny, but kind of like, what the hell's going on? Like,
yeah,
what about me, kind of thing.
exactly. It just seemed
But
like he had all this pent up rage
yeah,
that didn't really let out too much, but like it felt like it was sort of like bubbling. Which kudos to the actor kid there, because I mean that's great acting for a kid that age to be able to really portray that there. That all season you felt like just one wrong thing and this kid could snap and
snap,
become
just
and just
totally snap. Yep.
so
Which kind of in our society today, we're seeing that all over the place. Kids just can't handle what's going on, and they just explode rather than talking to somebody.
exactly. And so yeah, so that I'm glad you brought up that scene because I mean it's you're wondering, you're just like, what's he gonna do? Is
Mhm.
he gonna join the Chucky army or not? And which so yeah, yeah, I really like this whole episode top to bottom. Like
Yep.
this is, I mean, I know I say that about all of them, but and we said some did slow down and stuff. These last two episodes were fantastic. Just so like for me, like top to bottom, I like both all the way.
And what about Devin? Like, he decided to go hunting by himself.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
It's like, what are you thinking?
That was
Like,
a little odd there, dude.
no black person goes hunting by themselves ever. That
I
would
don't
never
know.
happen.
I don't know many black people that hunt.
Touche. or go camping for that matter. And I'm sticking by that statement. My friends say black people go camping. I don't believe it. We fought to get out of the woods. We're not going back in there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but yeah, that was an odd choice. I mean, did it for a reason, obviously, but it would just seemed yeah, it seemed like out of place almost for the
Yeah, so
character.
it was there to move the story along, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
more than anything, not
So
to
like,
really make too much sense, but with the cat, because
it wasn't horrible, but it was just kind of like, but you got balls. I'd be like, nah, I'm not doing that by myself. You crazy?
and what we know about Devin, he's not that type of kid. It seemed
Right,
like the way he's been portrayed thus far this
right.
season. Yeah, he's smart, but he's small and nice kid, very empathetic, and
Hmm.
it's. But like you said, they need to move that story along. So,
He's more of an artist. He's a podcaster.
yep,
He's like,
exactly into
he's a
all that.
thinker.
Yes, exactly. He's a smart kid. So it's yeah, that was an odd choice there. Odd choice.
So, what do you think about Junior and his father?
So that's another like because he's not such a like he's not the father I'm talking about now, not Junior.
Mhm.
He's not like the main, he's not the kids, he's not, you know what I mean? But talk about a good sort of character arc too. When we get introduced to him, he seems like the nice brother, and everything like that. Where Jake's father, his twin brother, is the played by the same actor.
Great actor.
Alcoholic and abusive and all that. And he seems just like the nice guy, but he has money as well. But then as the season progresses, you start to see how he's very controlling and crazy about Junior's like running and cross and stuff, and some of the advice, because I was cross country runner and stuff, and it made it seem like Junior was like a distance runner. It seemed like
Yeah,
they never really, I don't think, ever specified, but
yeah.
some of the stuff, the advice he was given was more for like sprinters, like when you talk about like the protein and stuff, because runners, it's more about carbohydrates, fueling and stuff, at least long distance. So, but yeah, what a great character as your father becomes more and more and more like controlling and kind of an asshole. And like for me, I wanted to see him get it too.
He's coming back for season 2, I believe.
Yes, and
Different
a
character.
different yeah, but yeah, Devin Sawa, right, is his name. And
Yes.
yeah, he's yeah, they said he'll be back in a different character, which is really cool because he is a
I
good
think it's
actor.
so awesome.
Yeah, I like that when they do that and bring them back
Mhm.
as different characters. But
So, what was your favorite kill? Did you have one in this episode?
oh
Was the one
god,
that stood out for you?
sorry, I'm trying to jump around in my notes here.
Mine was
Uh,
Judah killing his dad.
yeah,
When you beat your father with the person who told you to kill your father, you know what I mean? Like he thinks Chucky
yeah,
beats him with Chucky. That was badass. I'm
yeah.
like, no, he didn't.
I don't think. Yeah, now that you say, it, I don't think you can beat that kill because that was fucking just like
It was like,
perfect, poetic. You
yes,
know,
yes. Chuck,
it's
why did you kill him? And you did.
yeah.
That was my favorite kill without question.
Oh, and we get that's right. I'm sorry. I'm jumping between my 7 and 8 notes here. Um, so we got more. We got more of the flashbacks, right?
Yep.
The 80s, going back to the 80s with Charles E. Ray. I love that. I love stylistically how like the way they filmed that felt 80s to
Yep.
me.
Yep.
Like I really really liked what was going on there. And I just love, we're getting more and more into his backstory of Charles E. Ray, which again, really cool. So just all right.
There's
Which
so much to like in this show.
yeah,
You know, the actors, they for the most part, they've all improved. The stories has stayed pretty consistent with a high level of standards that's at least we've given it. You know, we've given it pretty high standards, and to me, it's kept up at the end of the bargain for sure.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting in season two because it was successful at everything. But I've said it before, it was sci-fi. A lot of times their shows, they have really good shows and they start really hot, like the first season or
Yep,
two,
and then
but
fade
then
away.
yeah, the budget gets cut and then it kind of gets into the more silly area of sci-fi where you're getting like, which I still like those, but then it's kind of not the same show or movie anymore because of it. It's so it'll be interesting because from what I understand, it's a pretty big hit, so it should have a good budget for this season. Hopefully, that'll excuse me, sorry, continue because I love this show. We got to see more of Tiff, which Jennifer Tilly, just
Yeah,
she just you
she's
can't
awesome.
you can't beat her. Yeah, I mean she is so good. It makes me sad that she's not in more stuff. Because
Isn't
she
it
is.
amazing the kind of actress she is? Like, she just doesn't do much stuff. And I have to wonder: is it just 'cause she doesn't want to? Because, man, you think she'd be able to pick and choose? Because I love Jennifer Tilly. I
Yeah,
always have.
and part of me wonders if it's because she's just too Jennifer Tilly now at this point, where it's just like, unless you have her in mind for a part, she's just. But
Specific, yeah.
yeah, she has a very specific type. No, I mean she's a great actress. I'm sure she can stretch herself, but I think that's how maybe she gets viewed.
Well, like in episode 8, that we're gonna get to very shortly.
Yes,
She has a scene where she appears as herself, while she's playing a character, which I'm like, this is great. This is so freaking awesome.
yeah,
Like, I'm like, this show is a great show. It makes
yeah,
fun of itself, kind of in some respect, but in a really good, fun way.
yeah. It does, and the humor in it is it's good. Like I said, I know we've talked about it before. It's not like that cringy Freddy
Yes,
Krueger humor
creepy, yeah.
where he's just saying the word bitch over and over
And it
again.
goes to show you, you can have a horror movie, and it doesn't have to be intense every moment of the movie. You can have really light moments during the horror if you do it right. And this show is definitely doing it right with the murder scenes that they're having. They're brutal, but it's like they're almost lighthearted to a certain degree. It's not as, I don't know, horror stricken, I guess,
And everything makes sense too. It's not just kills for kill's
for a
sake.
reason. Yeah,
Even though we get kill almost every episode, which is really awesome, it's they all make sense. It's not just like him just wiping out people to wipe out people. And I think we've talked about that in an early episode. It's like
hmm
in the first scene, if you kill 20 people, where do you go from there? And that's what
Right.
happens with a lot of these horror franchises after a while. It's like they have
Hmm.
these really cool scenes, but it's like early on in the movie, and then it's it doesn't mean anything. Where this, I feel like every kill has meant something. It's part of Chucky's plan, the way he's manipulating these kids to building this sort. I think you used the word crescendo earlier or something, and you know, they do a really good job. The pacing's great. Like I said, we said some of the shows were a little slower, but they needed that. You kind of needed
Right.
to pull
There's
back
a reason for it.
yeah, before you ramp up for these final two episodes. Where I remember when the show was first, I couldn't wait for the finale. After watching this one, I was just like, this. There's very few shows that are like, and I don't get to watch it as it happens, but I still call it like destination viewing. And that's one of them that I'll watch the next day. I like Chucky. I have to watch, or even that night when I get home from work, if I can, if they put it on the app. And I don't have a shows like that besides this. So they do a really, like you were saying, dude, they just do an amazing job on this show. And just, something a little off top, a little not on the episode, but about Chucky. Don Mancini wants to do a Chucky on Elm Street. He wants to do a crossover with Freddy Krueger. He's already, I guess, written most of it or something.
Well, they're trying to get Robert England for one more movie.
I saw that, and because it's gone to Blum, right?
I'd go see that in a second.
Yeah, I guess it's going to Blumhouse, and
Oh, that's good.
yes, and that's what people are saying, that he could, if anybody's going to be able to sway him, it's Blum. So
They're like one of the hot studios right now for horror.
oh yeah, they even their low budget stuff is great. Everything that comes out is really good out of Blumhouse. He quietly made like a horror empire there, Blum. But yeah, so that would be really awesome, because that 2010 was good. Jackie Earle was great. I mean, he's a great actor and everything, but Freddie's Robert England to me.
Yeah, I like him as an actor, but like I was telling one of my coworkers, like the poor guy. He's a great actor.
Yeah,
I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's really good, but like he you can't use him for, and it's like, who would you use for Freddy Krueger? You'd almost have to, in my opinion, like have somebody that totally changes the appearance of Freddy in a certain respect, where it's Freddy, but you don't think Robert England.
Yeah.
Like,
I know what you're trying to say. I think I know what you're trying to say here.
It's just like when you see Freddy Krueger, you think Robert England,
Yeah.
And how do you do that without not being Freddy? You know what I mean? Like Jason, you always have a mask. Outside of the build of the killer and Friday the 13th, he always has a mask on, so you can hide it that way.
Yeah, you can be almost anybody.
Camera angles, you can do things, but Freddy Krueger,
because it's so it's iconic. It's built around his face and the way he looks.
You have to wait years, like 30, 40 years to do it again. Like it's one of those tough. That's tough.
Yeah, no, it is tough. And he did it, like I said, he did a great job. And but it's Robert Englund. Plus that movie, they leaned a little more into Freddy.
Chud's a good movie, Chud.
Chud is a great movie. Freddy's like the molester aspects of Freddy in that one too. So then it's like, it makes it even harder to watch and stuff. Cause part of the appeal of Freddy, especially in the later ones, is that he did make you laugh or something like that. Yeah. You kind of liked him, but how can you ever just, even though that was kind of implied in the first ones, it was never overt. It was more that he was just a child killer with this one. So anyway, that's a little off topic, but anyway, I think that would be really cool though if Dan Mancini is able to do a crossover between.
That'd be awesome.
I'd watch that
without a doubt.
I'd watch.
So you have any more to talk about? You want to get to our ratings, or do you have more to discuss?
No, I have a lot more for the next episode. So yeah, let's just rate this, because like I said, guys, this was more. It was just, this is building the crescendo. It's just they're trying to figure everything out, building up to this next episode. So yeah, it's good to rate it.
I gave it a solid 4.
Yeah.
Kept up with my consistency with the ratings. I mean, ridiculous. Great episode.
Yeah, this is definitely a 4, maybe even a 4.25 for me. It's this was a great episode. Like I said, great pacing, great flashbacks. They really built the story nice and really set up for your anticipation for this episode. So yeah, 4.25 for me, somewhere in there. It's just great. It's just a great one.
All right. I have to agree. It's, the show's just been overall consistent. I think my lowest rating is like a 3.5, I think.
Yeah, something like that, or 3.75 or something.
Yeah,
It's but
like
both.
that, so.
Yeah, it's both of ours. It has been. So it all built to this final episode of season 1, An Affair to Dismember is the name. Yeah, it is good. That's another thing. Low key, they had awesome episode title names. It was just like they were, and that's more for
every episode.
That's more for the super fan, like that's into that type of stuff. That the type of fan that's watching this. It's just the titles have been good. They've been funny and good and fitting. So in this one, the brief synopsis, and then we'll really dig in, is okay, yeah. So we build up to the final, and Chucky's how do I word this? Finally, we're going to see Chucky's plan come to fruition, and that's it. We're going to see Chucky's master plan come to fruition in a very, very, very public way. So this is what it's built to, guys. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, I thought there were a few hiccups in this episode.
Yeah.
Nothing dramatic or crazy or anything, but like near the end, specifically in the theater, when Jake's running in that slow motion, that was kind of goofy. It was like, is that really needed? Because he looks goofy to begin with, and the poor kid him in slow motion just should not happen.
Yeah, Jake, I know we've been a little critical of him and stuff, but it's I would agree with you there. I would agree. It came off a little clunky. All right.
Yeah, that was rough.
What were some of the other things that the little hiccups you were talking about?
When Junior was talking to Lexi on the stage about trying to get her to come to their side and go with him. It just seemed like, well, what teenager gonna make those statements? It just seemed too scripted.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Okay. I didn't really notice it, but I can definitely see what you're talking about.
I'm trying to find the actual statement. I have the comment here. I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. Junior's like, "Come with us. It'll be better than it ever was before." like who says that? Like before what? You're 15, 16 or whatever. You ain't had it before yet. It's like better than it was before.
Talk that way. When I remember kids being 16 and like, I'm gonna marry this girl, and thinking and it's like, no, dude, it's high school. You're not gonna marry. Very few of you. It's not the 1950s anymore. You don't really marry your high school sweethearts.
And I did think of that when I was writing this. I was like, well, high school they do over dramatize things, but it was just like the way he was saying it was like, if you're my friend, I'd punch him in the mouth. What is that?
That's awesome. So Chucky.
No. I was that's pretty much about my own hiccups. It was like, nothing major.
So as I alluded to in that plot synopsis, Chucky's plan. He's creating a Chucky army, and we talked about it earlier, right? in an earlier episode.
Yep.
And what was your thoughts again on the whole? Do you like that part of the lore, or do you not like it, where he can, get like basically a piece of his soul into a bunch and create an army? Um,
Um.
I don't remember what your thoughts on the whole thing was, because it's a newer thing. It started coming up in the last couple movies, but it's
Well, everybody, it just reminds me of Friday the 13th. We need that in Friday the 13th. It's like, really? Come on. I don't love that idea. Though I will say, and maybe subconsciously it's personal, but me and a buddy were writing a story, and ironically, in the story, it was about a nursing home, and a demonic entity entered a person and can't get into the nursing home, and the entity was able to switch bodies,
mhm.
and that was the purpose of the entity and how it survived. And so I think of that a lot. It's like, wait a minute, they stole my thing. What the hell? Which I know they didn't, obviously, but in general, I'm not for it because like they've done it in a bunch of horror movies. They've done it over and over again. It's not something new. They did it on Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the reason I ask, because I know people are torn, like fans are torn on that. Some people like that he can do it. For me, it's after a while, you do need to introduce new stuff to keep, if you want to keep a franchise going. So it doesn't really bother me as long as they don't, it doesn't just become this every time and they beat it into the ground. I feel like, okay, we've seen it this season, we can kind of get away from, maybe we get away from it, but
Well, I
because
will say I don't love it. It's not my thing, but I think in the other movies, to me, it was just hokey and ridiculous. It works for Chucky because it adds the element of, all right, early in the season, he got his face melted off. Well, how do you go from there from a story standpoint? You can have him walk around with a melted face. No one's
yeah,
gonna want a doll with a melted face. You know what I mean? It's like it's over at that point. So you'd have to incorporate some type of
yeah,
something to fix that. So in that respect, that it actually works for this franchise. At least there's a reason for it. Most movies they do it just try to be cute. It's like no, that's stupid.
yeah.
So it's not my favorite thing, but I can understand why they do it for Chucky. And it
And
does work.
I think that's my feeling as well. What I was trying, it's like not, I don't overly love it, but I don't hate it either. And I don't think they'll just beat it into the ground either. But hopefully, knock on wood, they don't. So in this episode too, we get to see more of Andy, and they kind of built that tension up that like when Chucky kind of is Andy going to actually turn to the dark side for a minute? The way Chucky's talking to him and talking about him, it's like the kids almost wonder. I really like that because I was a little critical of the actor, but not in a. I wasn't critical of him because he hasn't acted since then. He's a music producer or something like that. So he's not like a professional actor doing movies out there. The guy plays Andy. So but I had said like in the early episodes he was kind of wooden, but it just seemed from inexperience, from not
Right.
doing it all the time. He kind of said all his lines the same way, not much inflection and stuff. But I thought that's the way they did that. It's like I never really thought he was going to, but I thought they built that tension up pretty nice. In this is that, oh yeah, is Andy gonna go back to his childhood buddy after all this and whatever, turn evil? So, what do you think of his acting, or just him coming back?
I thought it was better than you would expect.
Yeah,
I wasn't, from him not being in acting for so long, it was kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna be critical of the guy for not acting. I'm coming back. If I was in his shoes, I couldn't just start acting, and my job, we're actually putting on a play, and I'm actually in it, and
Oh yeah.
but I only have a few. I only have, I'm one of the. I'm probably in it like 3/4 of the play to help move the play along.
What's play is it?
It's basically the Odd Couple,
Okay, nice.
and two people, and I don't want to get too into it because it's my job, but two people who don't get along, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and how music brings them together,
Oh,
essentially.
okay,
And,
that's
they,
cool. So
yeah,
you're.
they battle at first for the supremacy of their styles of music.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, they're like, we have a lot in common, you know. And
Very cool.
that's what it's about. Yeah, my boss, who's an actor, uh, you'll meet him at Comic Con. He's supposed to be coming with us that weekend when we go to
Nice.
Comic Con. And but
Have you ever acted in a play before?
in school, I did one in school. Nothing serious. It was like just a typical like a little thing. And then we did a couple at Life Care, my other job.
Very
And I
cool.
worked there for the residents.
I never knew that. I never knew that you guys put on plays. That's really cool.
Well, he wrote it. My boss wrote it. And when I got there, I was like, "Yeah, we did this at Life Care. We should think about doing something like that here." He goes, "Oh, I have a play. Like, let's do it, man. Let's do it." And
That's really cool. You guys do that.
yeah,
No,
and we getting other people involved, and
yeah, yeah,
we'll
it's
talk more off air. I'll get more specific with you off air.
yeah, yeah. No, that's really awesome though. I like that. So
But yeah, I thought it was acting. I mean, for what the poor guy was, not been around much in acting. I'm sure. He did pretty good.
yeah, yeah. I would say the same. Like I said, I was a little harsh on him, but again, I acknowledge he hasn't acted in 30 years or whatever it's been.
And you're an actor too, so it's like I think you're tougher on your own people, kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
expect more.
And I haven't done it in a long time. So the first time I pick up a script, I'd probably sound pretty robotic or something myself because yeah, I haven't acted in a long time. God, like 10 years or so. So,
That's all. It's only been that long. You can pick it up, no problem.
but that was just a few small things I did in grad school. Before that, it was it had been a while too. Because when I was professionally acting, I was in my 20s. Uh, early mid to late 20s. I stopped around 27, 28 or something like that. Oh, wow, I'm an old man. um but yeah, so what else about this episode?
When Jake, here's a funny one that I
Yeah.
actually giggled at it. And again, it's one of those funny little scenes when Jake and Lexi are sitting on the couch, and Kyle's telling them about killing all the Chuckies and the killings and everything. And
Mhm.
Lexi looks over at Jake and gives him a dirty look. And Jake just says, "Oh, drop it." Like he's trying to kill her. Remember, like he's trying to kill her. He's just like, "Really? Like
Yeah.
you tried to kill me?" He was like, "Oh, this constipated look." Like, "Don't
Just
drop it."
walked up.
I thought that was hilarious because like, yeah, I didn't forget. I didn't forget. You know,
Yeah.
that was a funny little scene. Kind of bring it back a little bit because like now they're friendly now, whereas not too long ago they had
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, I mean, almost to the point where they were murdering each other.
Yeah.
Like not even just like high school drama. Like Jake was
Yep.
legit gonna kill her, and
Yep.
she did that awful costume party.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it was again Lexi's transformation. Just the best of any of the characters in this first season for
Pretty good
me.
actress.
Yeah, just she went from I wanted to kill her. I,
Yes,
like
you
when she dressed up like
hated her
father,
guts.
his dead father, and pretended to get electrocuted the way he died and stuff. I was like, damn, that is some fucking heat right there. And
Mhm.
yeah, and to become one of the heroes of the story is it was great, and it didn't feel forced or anything. It didn't seem maybe because it was because of the way it being a season so they could, weave it and stuff. It didn't just seem like, because you'll see that in movies too. It's like the bad guy turns good, but you don't really see any of the transformation. They go from bad to good at the end. And
Right.
they did a really good job. She, like you just said, what an actor she is. She is a good little actor in this series. Sorry, I keep very burpy today. Very, very
Good
burpy.
food.
What's that?
Good food.
No, I think it was the Red Bull I drank earlier. That's like, ugh, I gotta stop drinking Red Bull.
But yeah, I think overall this is a really good episode.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite kill in the show?
I still my favorite kill goes back to the father, Jake's father. That I mean the one with the needles in the hospital, that was great. There's been it's crazy because there's a lot of really, really good ones. But for me, with Chucky, he's drinking the alcohol and puking, and it just, I loved it. Thought it was classic. It kind of, and it reminded me of another movie, even though it's not a horror, Team America, by the South Park guys, where they did the marionette movie, and that throw up scene in that. It kind of reminded me of that, but that's my favorite. What's your favorite kill?
Well, I have in categories like
Okay.
the cop with the needles. That was like shocking. Like a whole, oh my goodness, for a TV show to show something that cool, I was
Yeah.
very impressed. And then the father was like, holy sheep shit. That was like hilarious, like just beating his father with a doll. That was
Yeah, that's a good
unbelievable.
one.
But my favorite kill of the series has to be when Jake, with his constipated look, grabs Chucky, pins him against the wall, and chokes him, and Chucky's eyes just pop out of his head. That
Yeah,
was hilarious. That
that
was
was
my favorite.
that was
That
good.
it brings back the old horror, the cheesy horror. That was like
Yeah,
it's not great, but brings back the olden days.
yeah, no, that's a good point. That
An
is
homage, so to speak.
that was great. Even Junior's mother, her death scene, even though it wasn't like crazy. I mean, she went out a window, so like for Chucky, when we're talking about like being punctured by 100 fucking syringes and all that stuff. But the fact that it happened right in front of Junior, like it was just like oh, that was
Well,
tough.
even go to her scene, like put yourself in her shoes. You're standing there, you see a cart coming at you with a doll pushing it.
Yeah.
Because your first thought is, and my first thought was, get out of the way or push back. He can't be that strong. But the shock you must have seeing a cat being pushed by a doll, your brain trying to wrap your head around, what am I seeing? Like, what is that? Then before you know it, it's too late.
Yeah.
Now you're done. It's like, man, the psychology. That was probably to me the most psychological kill, because just Chucky being Chucky, no human being's gonna go, oh, that's a walking doll. No, dolls don't walk. It's like, what am I looking at?
Exactly. That's a great point, because I do see people talk about, oh well, people that don't like Child's Play and Chucky, it's a doll, you could just pick them up and throw them across a room, and it's like, but they're totally not taking what you just said into account. Like, I know I'm into this stuff and I watch these movies, but I know if I saw a fucking doll walking across my room, I wouldn't immediately know to start stabbing the thing or anything. I'd be like, what the hell is going
I'd
on?
run the other way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be thinking, I'm going to kick it across the room.
That's
And I'd be like, see ya. Run, ask questions later.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a great point. People don't talk about that. It's like, that's creepy as fuck. I mean, dolls in general are creepy anyway.
Yes.
Like,
My sister had one of those dolls. I threw it when we owned the house. I threw it in the garage, locked the door. I'm like, screw you. You get out of here.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, I dated a girl whose mother collected dolls and stuff, and like I remember it was, I think she had put a bunch in her room when she went away to college, and when we came back to visit or something, we opened it. It's just like 1,000 eyes just looking at you, all these fucking creepy dolls all around her room. It was crazy. Yeah, dolls are creepy in general, and then it's to have a doll possessed by a serial killer. It's pretty fucking scary.
Right.
Yeah, I loved it. And of course we got season 2 coming. But they just really they built this season up in such a way, and they did it in such a way. It was just great. It'd be cool to almost just watch it straight with, if you could just edit it where you don't have to go through the credits and just watch it, you know what I mean? Just in one thing and watch it, because they do a really good job on everything, building to this finale. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this show, man. I really can't.
It's a great show, and if people aren't watching, why?
Yeah,
What's keeping you from watching the show?
really, because it's yeah, it's freaking awesome. I cannot wait for season 2 here.
It's totally insane. So, what did you give it for rating?
This one, okay, so oof. This is, I mean, this is a 4.5 for me, because for me, with it, just the episode itself was really, really good. I liked, and I understand those hiccups that you kind of talked about now. I didn't really think about them in the moment, but they make sense. But 4.5, and that just takes into account the way it just how it capped that a great season. So yeah, 4.5 all day on this episode. What about you?
I gave it a 3.885.
Really?
Yeah, only, and I did it because of the hiccups. There's the minor issues I had with it, and it was a really good episode. And I'm probably being a little too harsh. And if I am, it's probably because I have such a ridiculously high standard for the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the reason. Because, to me, the one problem the show's going to have is, can they keep up with the greatness that they've had? Because, man,
yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough task to
yeah.
me. It's really going to be a tough task to follow up this season, and but I have faith. I have faith that they can do it, because this,
the right people are in charge.
What's that?
The right people are in charge.
Exactly. And this season, I was excited about this show, and this season far exceeded my expectations. I did not I was hoping it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this good. So I have faith they can do it, but they have created a challenge for themselves. It's a tall task to live up to such an epic first season of it. But I can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so that's it for our Chucky season 1. It's over. Now we can get ready for season 2, and we're gonna be reviewing them each week as they come out.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. So we'll do an episode. I don't know if we'll do them live or not, but we'll definitely be doing them and releasing them shortly after.
Yes.
And, we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, so any final words for the peeps here, Tom?
Hey, just if you haven't watched it, do it. Binge it now before season 2 starts. That way you can go in, and I'm thinking about just doing it so I even though I've rewatched these again, just watch them one more time right before the season starts, just so that everything's fresh. But yeah, that's it. If you haven't watched it, check it out, and if you have watched it, check it out again.
All right, guys. Yeah, definitely what Tom said. It's a great show. If you at all think about watching horror or want to watch horror, this is a good show to watch. If you've ever liked any kind of horror thriller, it's just a fun show. So check it out.
Yes.
So that is it. So you guys tune in I don't know if we'll do it next week or not, but tune in soon. We'll keep you guys updated on the next episode. We're going to be releasing more content during the week, so there'll be more videos for you guys to watch for fun. So stay tuned for all that fun stuff. And also, we're going to be doing some horror themed episodes soon. So keep your eye out for that. We have some ideas for that. So some fun stuff's coming up for Halloween. So stay tuned for that, guys. So for Tom and myself, you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Stay out of trouble. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.